by the narrowest of margins. Okay, so we're out here playing the market like a fiddle, and of course the best part about this is we have the receipts. This first video is from November 20th, which was a Thursday. As we move on to the monthly, you'll see that we got so close to that monthly imbalance but didn't quite get in there. This is not necessarily the end of the world. That low would have lined up with that final low that we see from a weekly perspective, which I'll show you here in a second. I probably would have felt a little bit more comfortable longing out of here than where we currently are. I probably would have felt a little bit more comfortable longing out of here than where we currently are. I probably would have felt a little bit more comfortable longing out of here than where we were currently. Tomorrow's Friday. We can get TGIF, which is, anticipating a 20 to 30% retracement on a weekly candle on a very directional candle, which is this. So ideally, we get down into here tonight or in the overnight session. And then we gap higher, and then next week we gap up, and we continue to go higher because there's really not too many bullish untouched levels overhead. So I should say bearish untouched levels overhead. So hopefully you found this insightful. If you not bad, huh? So now on to the newest one that we had last night, where I specifically was talking about Dow. That point. Again, you also have an hourly imbalance here on YM, which is pretty good. You have a breaker here as well. It's a little bit lower. It's about 100 points lower on Dow. Going to the 4-hour here, you'll see very similarly that 4-hour lines up with the new week open gap. And to me, Dow has been a leader. I expect it to continue to be a leader. So realistically, what I want to see here inside of this 4-hour candle is to paint as is, ultimately gravitate down towards the YM new week open gap, which is Dow, get into the 4-hour breaker, and from there make that next push and chase that next high. And on Dow, it would be what, 48,528. Realistically, from like a NASDAQ perspective, so as you can see, price retraced back down towards that 4-hour imbalance alongside that 4-hour bullish breaker. Price got in and price got out, driving price higher. Now I know that there's been a lot of urge and itch to try and short this, okay? To me, we still haven't gotten into our higher time frame draw from a NASDAQ perspective, and this is what is the most alarming to me moving forward. The fact that we have yet to get into that NASDAQ daily showtime pivot, while we've already taken out that all-time high on YM or Dow, leads us into something called SMT divergence. So we have divergence between the indices, and when that happens, yikes, okay? Because here's the last time that we had divergence as such. Here is all the way back to December 2024. You will notice that NASDAQ did not take out the high the second time. Whereas if we were to come over to YM, you will notice we did during that same week, okay? Also, you had the S&P taking out that high as well. NASDAQ remains the weaker of the bunch as we continue on into the close of 2025. Where we sit currently, we have YM at all-time highs. We had Russell at all-time highs. We have ES so darn close, but not quite there yet. Okay. Do we see the S&P take out this high for your new all-time high? And that will ultimately drive NASDAQ into that daily showtime pivot. And is that the end? Are we going to start off 2026 with a little bit of a retracement to get us going into the year? Because realistically, along the way, we really haven't created too many bullish levels in the process here as we are making that climb into that daily pivot. So that is something that's pretty alarming to me, okay? But on the flip side of all of this, we also haven't created bearish levels per se. Okay, so realistically, we've kind of just been a chop fest, and when you don't create higher time frame levels, it's really not showing you urgency in either direction. So with that being said, I think this is most definitely a pivot where we can definitely see a rejection from this point. If we were to create an imbalance through that, that whole idea goes out the window, and at that point, you would anticipate NASDAQ lining up with the rest of the indices. So, just a little victory lap there, along with some more additional analysis. So if these videos are helpful, please let me know. Comment, like, share, bookmark. Do whatever you got to do. Appreciate that. I'll keep doing them as long as you guys like them. So until next time, we will talk soon.